Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video today, we're going to be discussing, as the title suggests, the possibility of scams involving U.S. immigration. And unfortunately, I see this rather frequently throughout the internet. There are various agencies, so-called visa agencies. I've heard of so-called immigration visa coaching. I've heard of Notarios. Notarios are a phenomenon that's mostly an American, both North and South American phenomenon, where so-called notarios will basically hold themselves out to be able to provide immigration advice and consultation. The long and the short of it is, with respect to United States immigration, federal law is quite clear. Only licensed attorneys are qualified to charge fees with respect to the U.S. immigration process, providing advice thereabout, or assisting individuals and representing them before the United States immigration apparatus. The reason I bring this up is, there are those, and I've got friends and things that I bring this up in conversation to friends, and they sort of view this as a kind of a sour grapes. It's like, oh, you just want all that work for yourself. Yeah, there's a financial side of this, and certainly, I don't particularly say that those folks are wrong in the sense that, yes, of course, I want more work because that's what I do. I'm an immigration attorney. But that being said, this isn't the reason that I bring it up in this video. I bring it up in this video because these kinds of folks can be very, very harmful to those who are seeking immigration benefits. And the reason I bring this up is, first of all, let me be clear. Attorneys make mistakes. Cases drag out. There are unforeseen delays. All kinds of problems can occur in a case. I'm not saying attorneys, by any stretch of the imagination, are all perfect, okay? But attorneys do have a code of ethics they have to abide by. And they do have, on top of that, they've been trained to deal with legal matters. Unfortunately, these folks that, hold themselves out as some kind of visa guru or something like this simply don't have that kind of training. And on top of that, they're basically just using sort of prior practical experience and trying to extrapolate that over a broad amount of cases in most situations. And it's not the same level of service you're getting, because it's not a professional level of service. It's just sort of an ad hoc, kind of play it by ear sort of service. The other thing is, and I go back, there's a rule of ethics, and there are certain rules that attorneys have to abide by. If you end up in a really sticky or difficult or just generally negative situation in an immigration context, probably unforeseen, especially if you're using an attorney, that attorney has to continue to deal with you. They have to assist you. They cannot, they don't have to in perpetuity, but within the reasonable construct of the overall case, they can't just get into some minefield that no one foresaw and just sort of abandon you there. They have to take measures to assist you. Unfortunately, these other, for lack of a better term, fly-by-night operators, they don't have to do this. And anecdotally, I've seen it many, many times in many, many different types of cases where an individual will, end up in a profoundly negative set of circumstances, maybe not of their making, and maybe not, that might not have even been foreseen by even a very good immigration attorney, but nonetheless, they're still in those circumstances. And they've been simply abandoned by this service provider because what else, there's not much you can do. They just kind of wander off. Another thing that's very problematic with these individuals and these operations is fraud and misrepresentation. I have seen this many, many times where, especially cases filed here in Thailand by certain operators, they've just obfuscated material facts, or they have out and out lied in various forms and in various adjudications, and it's resulted in a substantially worse off position for the applicant than would otherwise have been the case. And then sometimes in these cases, it's things like regulatory infractions that may not have even been an issue with respect to inadmissibility, but the act of lying about it resulted in a finding of inadmissibility. I've seen that happen. So again, the thing to take away from this video, and again, this is not sour grapes. This is simply It's simply to be informative. Be informed of what professionals are out there. Ascertain credentials. If you contact somebody that says that they specialize in immigration matters to the United States, ask for their license to practice law in the U.S. You know, if they can't provide it or come up with some, you know, long-winded explanation about why they're not going to provide it, be very leery. Be very leery, be very wary and cautious of dealing with an individual or individuals in that context. And that's the thing to take away from this video. At the end of the day, I'm not saying hire me. I'm not saying hire anyone in particular. Whoever one opts to assist them in the immigration process, it should be an attorney with whom they feel the most comfortable assisting in their case. But that being said, ascertain the credentials of whoever that service provider is to put yourself in the best situation possible.